Hello, everyone. This is Bipasha Chatterjee, Assistant Professor in the Department of Psychology, Adamas University. And in this video, I will be discussing some important aspects of training and development that is carried out in organizational setup as part of the development process of the human resource and also the management of human resource, which ultimately contributes to the development of the organization as well. So I will just share the slide that I have prepared. All right. So training and development, this is the topic of this video of mine. And of course, training and development programs are very essential to be conducted in organizations for the improvement of the quality of work of the employees at all levels, of course, particularly because given the time that we are in, the world is always bombarded with the various changes, the technological developments, the other changes and developments that are happening around us. And uh, so that is why it is absolutely essential that uh, we the organizations have these training programs, which are nothing but the process of teaching new employees the basic skills and competencies, and not only technical skills but behavioral skills as well, that they need to perform their jobs that are assigned to them. It is not only for new employees, because training and it's a very systematic and organized procedure that are required for the development, the upliftment of the standard of performance or quality of performance of the employees as well. And also for new employees, definitely it is important. It is important for older employees or senior employees. I would rather say senior employees in organizations, because with the ever changing technological developments, advancements, and new things with the due to globalization and networking and everything, so of course we are in a stage where we constantly need to upgrade ourselves. So for that, training is required. And again, as I said, that it is an important and integral part of human resource development, which is actually, it's a framework that in the organization that helps in employees to develop their personal as well as work skills and organizational skills, the knowledge, ability, and all that. And ultimately it is useful. It can be it can be utilized in organizational setup for better understanding of what the work needs to be done as well. Okay. And training, again, yes, it's more like a teaching. You are teaching someone, or you are developing in oneself and in others. So because when you are going through these trainings and developments as a trainer, as a corporate trainer, you also are learning things. You are also going through the training process as well. So it is, training is where you are teaching yourself. Training is where you are helping oneself and others to understand what the requirements are, to understand where I need some kind of learning and developing myself, my skills and knowledge that are related to enhancement of the competencies and the useful, making myself useful and more efficient for the organization. And training, of course, they have specific goals, and the needs, goals, and all these things are there, which as we move on with the slides and everything, we'll discuss one by one, basically. So the next thing that I will be talking about is there is a fine line of difference between training and development. Now, till now, I was talking about training, which is, again, you are developing yourself with any skills and knowledge that are required for that specific particular job and everything. But development, whenever we are talking about training in an organization, it is not only just training, we also talk about development as well. So what is this development and how is it different from training? So development is where, in general, if we talk about development, it is basically it's a growth of the individual in all aspects. So it is not just, adding numbers or quantitative measurement, but it is, again, a qualitative measurement as well, where the human resource development, the concept of human resource development is that is why it is important, because you are not only teaching the individual ki, this is how you should run an Excel, this is how you should feed in data in this computer, or this is how you need to maintain record and all that. That is fine, that is the teaching and the training part, fine. But development is more than that. Development is where you are helping your employees, you are helping your people who are working in the organization for the development of their potentials, in order to enable them to be more effective and more efficient in the various functionings of the management and the organization. Okay, so here in this table format, you can see and understand that there are certain points of difference between training and development, which as IO psychologists, we should understand and remember, and not focus just on the technical training part as well, because we should look into it in a holistic manner, where we include the development part as well. And that is how the human resource development concept will actually materialize in real life. So coming to the difference between training and development. So first of all, training is, it's like learning skills and knowledge for doing a particular job. As I said, how to maintain the data, how to maintain record of this particular thing or whatsoever. So just mainly the technical terms and the technical knowledge that is required for that particular job. Okay, it can vary from job to job, it can vary from organization to organization. So these things are these are, again, other variables which decide what kind of training and what kind of skill development is required. Whereas development, on the other hand, is growth of an employee in all aspects. So that is when we talk about when you are training managers or something, or people who are in managerial posts or anything. It is not only about added responsibility of the workload, but you are also managing a team. There's a team who's looking up to you. You are the leader. So in that way, what happens? They need and growth and all-round development in them in order to, lead a team from front. So that is the growth of an individual in all aspects. Training, again, is generally, used to denote imparting specific skills among operative workers and employees, whereas development is associated with the overall growth of the executive. Almost the same thing that I said just now. Training is concerned with maintaining and improving current performance. It's a short-term perspective. Okay, so you are focusing on what needs to be done for the betterment of myself in this particular job. Whereas development seeks to develop competencies, help build competencies and skills for future performance as well. So it is a very long-term process. You are looking forward in the future. Okay, training is job centric in nature, development is career centric in nature. So if you are, say for example, if you want to do one short course on, say Excel, or Microsoft Excel or something, that means that is not something that is helping you for your particular job, but that is something that will help you in your career as well. That knowledge, that training that you have taken, that development that you have done, that course that you have taken for your development, that will actually help you to help you in the long run. Okay, and the role of trainer or supervisor is very important in training, and all development is self-development. The executive has to be internally motivated to be self-development, to have self-development basically. Okay, so this is the basic difference that is between training and development. So you can see and understand that although apparently training, development, both of them can mean that they are quite similar to each other, but they are not. The objectives and the path or the course of actions are quite different from each other. And in organizational setup, these two types or these two methods or approaches are required for the betterment of the workforce. Okay, so moving on to the next subtopic, that is training needs and benefits. Now, why is a training required? Now, from this, training is a very extensive work. It is a very, a lot of things need to be done, planned, and understood in order to carry out a particular job or something. You need separate resource for training, conducting trainings. Of course, monetary expenses are there, time, concept of time, and these things are there. So why is it necessary? What is the aim of any kind of training program? So first of all, it is development of the actual job knowledge and skill. So that is why nowadays you will see that organizations, whenever they are taking in new employees, they have a 3 months or 6 months probation period, the training period, where actually you are helping the person to orient with the organization. It's more like an orientation training process, where you are transmitting information to the employees so that they have an understanding as to what is to be done, what needs to be done, and how the things are to be done, right? And also modification of attitudes, increasing the sensitivities of superiors and management, and to understand, to improve interpersonal relationship, to have a better understanding of the people, pulse of the people. That is essential. And also at the same time, we are also focusing on to work effectively and efficiently with minimum supervision, minimum cost and waste and spoilage of products and everything. So that is why these things are essential in order to train people how to do the work more efficiently. For current employees also, if as a result of the evaluation, yearly evaluation or performance evaluation, you see that the person is not being able to perform up to the mark, what was required, you can carry out these, or you can provide these training methods and training methods in order to make them much more competent and explore their areas outside their comfort zone as well, and so that they can go for development of their selves as well. Okay, so of course training is required for promotion as well, because it's a new job, new responsibility, and it is always better to have the person oriented with the whole setup before you push that person to that new job sector. Okay, all right. Of course, benefits is like reduction in waste and spoilage, improvement in methods of work, reduction in learning time, reduction in supervisory burden, reduction in machine leakage and breakage, and maintenance cost. So these are some of the benefits that we often experience while we are, as a result of conducting successful uh, training methods. Okay. So now, in order to plan out a training session, it needs extensive understanding. So as I said that we have to keep in mind three things, three important aims of any kind of training and development programs that I as an IO psychologist or a representative of the management, or the management I need to keep in mind. First of all, development of actual knowledge and skill. Of course, if the person is a fresher, the person needs to know what work he or she has to do, what needs to be done, and everything. And what are the things, what are the skills and competencies that you need to brush up in order to perform the job that is being assigned to you. Secondly, transmission of information as an orientation training. Okay. Uh, of course, adding to the first aim here, development of actual knowledge and skill. When you are preparing someone for promotion as well, even the person might be an old employee, a senior employee in your particular organization, but for the post, the person is new. So, in order to flourish well in that particular, in a new post, development of actual knowledge and skill that is required, which is the demand of that particular job where he or she is being promoted. So, again, coming back to the second point, transmission of information in an orientation training. So, of course, when a fresher has joined the organization, and when a person is new in your organization, so of course when you are orienting the person in the induction or orientation process, you are basically selling your organization to that employee. You are showing off your organization to the employee. So of course that information transference is required, the ethical terms and everything, what needs to be done, and what are the essentials that needs to be done, the ethical terms and conditions and everything, how the work is done, all these kind of things. And third one is influencing employees attitude towards the organization. So through training, so it's like more like a helping hand that the organization is reaching out to the employees and helping the employee to be a part of the organization. So it's like you're sending out a message, a silent message ki, we are there to help you, we are there to guide you. So that is important on the part of the management as well. Keeping these three aims in mind, of course, while we are trying to develop any training program, we'll have to keep in mind these few points. Determining if training is required. Why is it now? Training and development processes or procedures are an extremely extensive processes. It actually costs time, money, and resources, everything. So firstly, we have to understand whether there is a need for training or not. Next, identifying training needs. What needs to be done, or in which area my teammates, my people of the organization need to be trained. Identifying the goals and objectives. So basically, from this training program, what are the takeaways? What I expect to be the outcomes of these training programs? Acha. That is important. Developing learning activities. So basically, you are planning out the procedure, what needs to be done, and how the whole training program will be conducted. What are the activities, or what kind of testing or training or activities, learning activities need to be incorporated for particular the training program. Now it will be different for different job sector, different position, for different position. Now if you are training a manager, if you are having sessions for managers, leadership training. So that training activity will be very different from, if you are teaching someone to, run a machine without any glitch. So the goals, the developing learning activities is essential, and finally conducting the training. You are on the spot with your people and you are conducting the training program. So how you are doing it, how you are bringing everyone, because you will have to have a solid reason in order to bring in your employees. Otherwise, why will the employees listen to you? Right? Like if you are a corporate trainer and I was a psychologist or whatsoever, you will find that in the audience there are many people who are actually, double your age. Okay, right. So why will they listen to you? So conducting the training program, developing learning activities, you will have to understand who is your audience, who are the participants. Okay, so accordingly you will have to plan your work. And lastly, evaluating the program effectiveness. Of course, lastly, I will also need to see through feedback, through, examining or evaluating the performances of the employees, whether actually this training program was effective or not, or how it was effective, how has it affected the people or impacted the employees who have conducted this program, who were part of this program, and so on and so forth. So evaluating the program effectiveness is also essential, because if the end result is not a positive one, then the whole process of training program is a waste. Okay, and that is something that no organization will want, not even the trainer who was there in the activity spot, because it is a wastage of time as well. So if nothing positive comes out as a result of these extensive training programs and everything, then there is no point in dealing with uh, or conducting such programs in future again, right? Asha. Next, we move on to the training process. Okay, so process here basically, what can be done, or what methods we can use in order to, train the employees. That is important here. And while we move on to this part, the first one you see modeling. So basically through training program, one of the ways in which you can train people is, modeling. So the leader or the trainer, so when you are talking about leadership, when you are talking about management or something, so there has to be someone who's actually, being the model, the role model, to whom we can look up to, and we can follow their activities, right? We can follow accordingly. Motivation, of course, providing incentives and, a proper, healthy, handsome paycheck with very relaxing and, autocratic work policy, feedback, constant feedback that you're giving to your employees, which actually will help your employees to, understand and look into themselves, where they are making mistake, or yes, this time I have done it right, so I'm learning. So it is more like a self-realization for the employees as well. So feedbacks are important. You understand what my work uh, requires, what I'm doing, and whether I am doing it right or not. As a whole learning, so together you have a gestalt view of the whole work of yours, and bring together every aspect of your job and you work on it. Active practice, of course, you do it daily, you do it all the way again and again, and finally you understand. Need analysis, of course. Why is this training required? What is the requirement of the job that you are doing? What is the outcome of the job that you are doing? How is your job helpful or contributing to the employer, to the organization? These things are essential to understand as well. Okay. Next, we move on to the types of training programs that we often have. Induction or orientation training, as I've said earlier also, when any new employee is joining your organization, it is the organization's responsibility to make the person go through a series of what do you call, a series of sessions where you are introducing the organization to the employee, and hence in a way you are training the employee to be ready for the organization and the job as well. Job training is there, of course. Apprenticeship training, internship training, refresher training or retraining, training for promotions. All right. Now, if we categorize the methods of training, we will be having three main categories of training. The first one is on-the-job training. Okay. Now, on-the-job training basically is the training method which follows the principle of learning by doing. Okay, so on the job training method is is considered to be one of the best training methods, because this training method is actually used because this training method is planned, organized, and conducted at the employee's work site. So basically, it's a primary method used for broadening the employee's skills and increasing the competency of and productivity of the employee. And particularly, it's appropriate for developing proficiency skills unique to a employee's job. So for example, you see in the field of medicine, junior doctors, they are often called into the OT or something, and they are given training. They are sent to go for checkups. When you as if you are a clinical psychologist or a psychologist, you are also trained to take MSCs, right? So in this way, what happens is, on the job you are providing the employee to face the new job challenges. So you are placing the employee in the job, and you are helping the person learn how to perform that particular job. Okay, so as it follows the principle of learning by doing, so of course its aim is developing skills and habits which are in line with the existing practices of the organization, and also orientation happens at the same time. So this is the on the job training method, which is very considered to be one of the very important and effective methods. Okay, so you have coaching, understudy, then vestibule training, simulation, extension of the vestibule training, where the trainees work very closely to duplicate real job condition. Like, in cases of flight attendant or cabin crew jobs, in that case, so pilot, so they are actually given scenarios and setups and everything, where they are trained for emergency exits, or if someone falls ill, or if there is a inconsistency or imbalance in air pressure or something, and whatsoever other aspects as well. All right, so that is what on the job training is about. Coming to the vestibule training. Vestibule training is basically adapted to the environment at the place of work. So it is simulation. So simulation, again, as I said, the workplace is a replication of your original workplace. So here what happens, you're not utilizing or wasting rather original resources, but at the same time, you're also getting a feel of your real workplace. Okay, you're getting an idea about the real workplace as well. And then moving on to the off-the-job training method. Off-the-job training method is mainly those training methods that take place away from the normal work situation, and employees are not counted as direct productive workers at that time. And this method actually involves allowing people to get away from the work and concentrate more on the training itself. So when you are on the job, you have it in your mind that I will have to complete the job as well. So basically you are more focusing on the job that needs to be done rather than on the training and the development part. So off the job training methods actually focus more on the training part, which actually has proven to be much more effective in inculcating concepts and ideas, and the theoretical part of knowledge that needs to be applied at the workplace. So off the job training methods, you will find like seminars and conference methods, case discussions. Specific cases are often discussed in the workplace. Sensitivity training, then committee assignments, role playing. So these are some of the methods, as and when that is convenient for the trainer uh, or the trainees, you can implement one of them. So now this slide actually talks about training and development for managers. Now till now, whatever we have discussed, that was for managers, for every person, but there are certain separate uh, separate, I won't say, but sorry, extra things that needs to be highlighted when we are dealing with managers. Okay, because training managers, we have to keep in mind two things. One, there is training in general skills required for leadership roles, decision making, problem solving, delegation of responsibility, and how you are dealing with people and all that. Secondly, there is also human relations training. So how you are utilizing your interpersonal relationships, because when you are a manager, you have people who are working under your supervision. So that employee harmony, leadership, carrying out the leadership role is something that is not a piece of cake, right? So it is, that understanding of the subordinate and the superior and the colleagues and everything. So this understanding, especially the upper middle and the middle level executives, they have to deal with people who are above them. They have to deal with people who are working under their supervision as well. So in that case, what happens, it becomes extremely essential for these people to have some extra training things, like job rotation. So it's a very popular management technique which is used for exposing training to different departments and jobs. So you just don't stick to your own job. So because manager maniki, you have to take care of many things, right? So in the training period only, if the trainees gain useful perspective of the various aspects of the job environment and the organization, they will have a much more opportunity for work. Case study method, of course, is there. Business games, you can use in basket training, role playing, behavior modeling. So these are some of the extra things that we can do while we are training managers. Okay. All right. Now, criteria for training evaluation. Now, after the training program is done, it is something that we need to understand, as I said as well, keep reaction of the trainers. So the trainers will automatically have an idea, because whether the participants liked or disliked the training program. Okay. So the participants can be interviewed, or, they can fill up any form or something after the whole session is done, whether it was effective, useful, or if they want these kind of training programs in future or not. So these kind of things. Learning, so whether the concepts and ideas and principles of the training were intellectually assimilated by the participants. The changes, whether the training caused people change to alter their behavior or not. Ultimately, whether it is has any impact on the behavior, on the activities and behavior of the employees, right? So impact of organization's effectiveness, so whether the modified behavior caused positive results or not, what is the output, that is important. Okay, so this is all about training and training in the workplace. And as you can understand that this is so very essential, part of the whole recruitment, the whole HRD process. And of course, it is not only something where you are training people to learn certain skills or competencies, but at the same time, you're also helping people to develop their own selves as well. Okay, so that is it from the training and development, and hope to come up with such videos, enriching videos in future as well. Thank you.